Hi, good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. This is Dan. Welcome to my channel, Engelgeist. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to all the new viewers, and for those of you that are returning, welcome back. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all for tuning in and subscribing. And for those of you that support me over at Patreon, thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. If you're interested, you can go over to patreon.com and look up Engelgeist, Engelgeist, and you can get a subscription over there and see the daily forecast a day early if you'd like, or there's other levels of subscription that get you different readings and votes in the polls and all of that sort of stuff. So this is the daily forecast for Tuesday, the 28th of April. Now, I always ask my archangels, my guides, those that have gone before us, God, Mother Earth, Source, whatever you want to call that higher power that, is benevolent and loving and of the, greatest good. I always ask for a message for the highest good for all who watch this video at any point in time. So there might be a message in this for you, even though it says it's April 28th. It may be that you're seeing it at a certain point because you're due to hear this message, that it has something to do with what might be going on with you in the moment that you're viewing this video. For those of you that watch daily and regularly, this would be your normal forecast. This week, though, we have some really beautiful cards, and so it's interesting to see where things are heading. We do have a little bit of a shift at the midweek that I saw in Sunday's reading. So we'll see if that's still taking place or if some of these really nicer energies have kicked in and maybe shifted the energy for us. So we'll have to see. So let's see. Oh, other ways you can support the channel if you'd like is follow me at Engelgeist333 on Instagram, or you can just share this video out. Hit the like button, the thumbs up, subscribe at either the business page or at here at my YouTube channel, and hit the notification button, and that way the bell, and that way you'll get notified when I do go live. I do live events and things like that, so you may want to be around for that. And you can always message me at the business page in regards to booking a private reading if you're interested. A private reading is a great way to not only get some insight and validation on whatever may be going on in your situation personally, but it also supports me and my business during this time. So that's available to you too. All right, so let's see what's going on with the energy for Tuesday the 28th of April. What do we need to know? So we have the Two of Pentacles, which is movement, choices, and decisions. And it's interesting because yesterday we had that Two of Cups. So this automatically brings me to that place of, and I believe, I didn't write down Sunday's cards, but we had that material and spiritual, I want to say it wasn't gain, but it was that gentleman like standing in front of the gate. It was also a Pentacles card, and it was talking about, I think it was the Six of Pentacles, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, it was about spiritual and material, sort of like looking over everything that we have and really understanding the value of that, right? And so this Two of Pentacles, yesterday we had the Two of Cups. This Two of Pentacles sort of feels to me like it's also bringing us closer to, how do I want to say this? An awareness of what we want, what we have, an appreciation of what we have right now in the moment, and maybe also giving us the opportunity to kind of make some decisions around where we want to head, right? But we need to, what's the word I'm looking for? Like we need to sort of commune with ourselves. That's the two aspect of this. I know a lot of you are in self-isolation, but to me this is a deepening of a relationship to our sort of material world and our material self and the things that we want in it. I love that we have this sort of these two rings here. There's this flower here. There's all of these lights of like the sort of the chakra system. So it's kind of like getting in touch. Our money is here in this yellow in the third chakra, right? Our energy distribution center. So to me, when I look at this, this is about I kind of feel like this is about getting really clear in our energy system what it is we want and where it is, how we want it to be. We may not know how to get there. That's the thing that sort of feels off with me with this card, is we may not know what the future holds right now, but we need to start to look at what, like start to question, okay, when this does clear or when these things do change, when I do get to a place where I can move forward or I feel as though I can sort of step forward, how do I want my world to look? How do I want my connections to feel? How do I want uh, my material world to be, right? And start to sort of set that energetic vibration in our chakras. This is movement, choices, and decisions. So I feel like for some of you, movement may not be available right now. That's this archway. I kind of feel like this is sort of blocking him, but he is still reviewing all of the different options and all of the different choices, right, that he could have or do, or maybe start to begin to set intentions around and begin to allow the universe to manifest with him, if that makes sense, or with you. And that Two of Cups energy from yesterday, it's interesting that we have these twos happening in our emotional center yesterday and now in our material center. So I kind of feel like, and that Six of Pentacles, I believe it was, from the beginning of the week card, which would still be underpinning all of this. I do feel like we are, we may not feel like we're creating something, but we actually can be if we choose to be right now. If we're monitoring our emotions, if we're monitoring our decisions, our choices, and how sort of our energy system is vibrating, if that makes sense, guys. So keep that in mind today as you go through the day. What are you focusing on? What sort of things do you want to have happen in your life? You may not feel like you can manifest them just yet, but as you focus on them and start to set those intentions or those vibrations, I feel like this is almost like real-time co-creation with the universe. Like setting a conscious intention and being aware of that through either, contemplation, meditation, however you set your intention, but being very conscious of it, being very aware of it, like actually looking at it and making those decisions, making those choices, doing whatever you can to make sort of movement towards how you want to be in the world, how you want your world to look when this is all sort of said and done. Does that make sense? And so as we do that, we start to set that tone. We also had that abundant blessings card yesterday, which makes me think that we need to keep our energy up. We need to keep our focus on what is working, not what is not working. Oh, wow. This is a beautiful card. I don't think we've ever had this card yet. This is called Heal Thyself. There's something about communication here. This lotus at the throat to me, and at the third eye, this also plays into this sort of envisioning what it is we want, right? He's looking at the vision here. And to me, like I said, this is sort of real-time communicate or creation with the universe right now. That's what this quiet time or this isolation now can be utilized as, is what I'm getting from these cards. That's sort of the feeling that I'm getting, is that we can start to look at, do we want love? Do we want, these two rings here make me feel like a union, which we saw yesterday in that spiritual union card, in that Two of Cups. It's like there's a focus here that's happening, that if we start to focus our intentions, start to focus our energy on getting our money right, getting our love right, getting our sort of healing right, that's this Heal Thyself card also. We need to begin to see that in our mind's eye and begin to sort of energetically set our vibrations towards those goals and communicate those goals from our throat chakra to ourselves, maybe at this time, to the universe at this time, to our guides at this time. I also feel like, sorry, I needed to take a sip of drink. Drank. I also feel like if we don't start to carve out the path, we won't move forward. Like, there are people that are moving in the midst of this pandemic. There are shifts and changes that are happening for people, and there's also people that are sitting still. And so, sitting still is not necessarily wrong, but as we sit still, we want to be healing thyself. We want to be creating a clear-cut path on what it is that we want next. How it is we want our world to come into play. How is it that we want to feel? That's yesterday's Two of Cups. Where do we want to sort of connect in and begin to create? Because the power is there, and it's almost asking to be acknowledged and what's the word, like brought in. You know, that's this two energy that we're seeing on both of these cards, yesterday's and today's. It's sort of that, okay, bring in the energy of the universe and let it play, or bring in sort of our intention and play with the energy of that, the vibration of that. And in the process, we're sort of healing ourselves. We're connecting to our deeper self. We're connecting to what it is that we want. And we are maybe setting the intention, making the decisions that that's what we want and committing to that as the outcome, but then allowing sort of our energy, the universe, the powers that be, sort of to unfold it for us or create it, similar to this lotus unfolding, right? So, the grounding stone for the day is friends. So, it's a strange grounding stone. I'm not exactly sure how to connect this, other than the fact that this material world card and friends may be communicating amongst friends how it is you want this world to turn out in a positive fashion, right? How do you envision what it is you want at the end of all of this? What sort of connections do you want to have? Communicate those through your throat chakra. We also had that sort of telepathic communication happening in yesterday's card that I felt was like very strong. And I feel like, again, there's telepathy happening here. Like, we're putting out that vibration, and sending that out to, say, maybe our friends, or sharing that with our friends might help us to also double up on that energy, help us to create that reality. I know that a lot of us, myself included, are very lonely right now. So it's probably a good time to reach out to friends and to others, check in on them, let them check in on you. Get a little honest about where you're at, guys. That's about this heal thyself. You know, sometimes we have to hold strong and keep that sort of front so that we feel safe. And I'm not saying that it's not real. We are holding strong. We are doing the best that we know how to do in this sort of unprecedented time. But we also can allow others in and communicate our truth and sort of be vulnerable and allow healing to take place. This also opens the door for us to sort of get more in line with the vibration that we're at, so that we can then start to manifest the things that we want, or make choices and decisions, and inadvertently thus movements towards what it is we want. But we need to communicate those things, envision them of the highest good, right, of the best possible case scenario, and then believe that it can happen. Utilize the energy and the knowledge of, say, your connections, your friends, feeling connected, that energy that brings to you, and imbue that into your choices and decisions as you move forward through the day. All right, that is your forecast. I hope it makes sense. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so very much, and I love you all. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.